Before we get started, make sure to turn on post notification and subscribe to the channel. 10 times wrestlers should have turned down championship reigns. Number 10. Bray Wyatt WWE Championship 2017. Wrestling fans had waited so long to see Bray Wyatt finally be given a run with the WWE Championship after years of being a fantastic talent that wasn't given that major push, and then it finally happened, seemingly very randomly heading into WrestleMania 33. The fact that Wyatt was heading into WrestleMania event as World Champion showed that the company had confidence in him with his feud against Randy Orton, really entertaining fans. But then the Viper quickly cut it to an abrupt end in their match at Mania. It just proved that WWE didn't really have any confidence in him, keeping his run incredibly short and finishing it off straight away at the first available opportunity. It made the championship look weaker and proved that Wyatt wasn't a world champion in the eyes of the company. Number 9. Bayley Raw Women's Championship 2017. WWE made a real mess of Bayley's entrance to the main roster. From the moment they introduced her, she wasn't booked in the right manner, and her entire Women's Championship run suffered because of it. Not only did she win it far too early, defeating Charlotte's undefeated run at a B pay-per-view rather than the obvious WrestleMania moment, but she did nothing of a real note while she was the champion, often being booked incredibly weakly. The entire thing was summed up with their awful feud against Alexa Bliss, where she was booked as pathetic as humanly possible, and it isn't a surprise to see she hasn't returned to the championship scene since. Number 8. Jack Swagger World Heavyweight Championship 2010. When people think about the great World Heavyweight Champions, Jack Swagger's one name that certainly doesn't come to mind. While he did a decent job as ECW champion, Swagger was pushed too quick to become World Champion on SmackDown. After surprising everyone when he became the Money in the Bank winner and his cash-in, with WWE not really developing him as a character that fans could invest into, which is when he should have asked for longer to become a bigger star. Instead, WWE rushed the decision to make him world champion, and Swagger suffered because of it, despite the fact he was talented in the ring, who could have become a much bigger star had WWE taken the time. Number 7. Batista WWE Championship 2009. Sometimes WWE makes decisions that are incredibly confusing, and Batista's run with the WWE Championship in 2009 was one of those. It is one where the talent probably should have fought against becoming champion. During that time, WWE had an obsession with passing the championships from person to person, which didn't help raise the value of the titles, but attempted to make everyone a star, which was seemingly the thought process behind Batista's run with the WWE Championship. The Animal defeated Randy Orton in Extreme Rules in 2009, despite the company knowing he needed to go away to rehab an injury, and less than 2 days later, Batista was vacating the championship, making the entire thing pointless. Number 6. Braun Strowman 2018 Money in the Bank Greatest Royal Rumble. Granted, neither of these are officially championships, but both are major accomplishments that WWE will plaster all over commentary to promote a talent, and therefore can be placed into the same category as a title run. Braun Strowman was given 2 major accomplishments this year, and both seemed like they had potential to springboard him to becoming world champion, but in the end, both were totally wasted and proved to be irrelevant. After winning the largest Royal Rumble in history in Saudi Arabia, WWE simply ignored the fact he had won just 2 weeks later, and his Money in the Bank cash-in equally fell flat with the ending to his Hell in a Cell match, wasting the briefcase storyline, which could have pushed another talent and given them a purpose for the majority of the year. Number 5. Shunsuke Nakamura United States Championship 2018. The king of strong style might have had one of the greatest runs in history with the NXT Championship, but his time with the United States Championship has been much less eventful and has actually been very forgettable. Nakamura had just come off his feud with AJ Styles for the WWE Championship when he became champion, and it felt very much like WWE gave him the US title as a way to make up for the fact he was never given a run with the world title, and he has suffered because of that. Despite the fact he had a fresh heel gimmick, the decision to make him United States champion has proved to be pointless, with Nakamura yet to have a meaningful feud and often spending weeks not appearing on SmackDown, making it a title run he probably should have denied. Number 4. John Cena WWE Championship 2017. When it comes to picking a WWE champion, there's a lot of pressure on Vince McMahon, as the talent needs to be ready for the pressure of the role, hence why he has gone back to the tried and tested John Cena so many times, as he's a reliable hand. However, when it came to his most recent WWE Championship run, it was one that didn't benefit anyone, including Cena. The whole thing seemed like it was done to bump Cena's record to tie Ric Flair's, and with no other meaning or purpose. The fact he only held on to the title for 2 weeks before losing it to Bray Wyatt proved what a waste of time it was, with Cena being used as a transitional champion between AJ Styles and Wyatt simply to add to the record books. Number 3. Rusev, United States Championship 2016. This isn't the first run that Rusev had with the United States Championship. That was one of the best runs in recent years with the title until he fed to John Cena at WrestleMania, but this entry focused on his second spell with the belt. Just like his first run, Rusev was eventually fed to someone that WWE saw as a main event talent in the form of Roman Reigns, and the Bulgarian Brute was left off looking worse than when he started. The problem with this title reign was that there was simply nothing unique or exciting about it, with WWE trying too hard to recapture the magic of his first run, copying it beat for beat only to receive nowhere near the same reaction. Number 2. Mick Foley, Impact World Legend Championship 2009. An example outside of WWE now, although it does involve a WWE Hall of Famer, and the fact Mick Foley was such a major WWE superstar was seemingly the only reason that Impact Wrestling decided to grant him a run with the World Championship in 2009. Foley has never been the healthiest wrestler. Even during the peak of his career, he wasn't in fantastic shape, but in 2009, Foley was in no shape to be wrestling, let alone to be considered to be a company's world champion. Impact went through a phase of relying upon former WWE stars in order to gain attention from wrestling fans, but in the long term, this hurt the company, and someone of Foley's knowledge and experience should have known he wasn't up to the job and denied the push. Number 1. Roman Reigns, United States and Intercontinental Championships. Having main event talent drop down to hold mid-card championships can be a good thing at times, with the talent often being able to raise the title to their level, but when it came to Roman Reigns' runs with the US and IC championships, that wasn't the case. Both times when the big dog was given the titles, it seemed like it was simply done to prove that Roman belonged in the title picture, but was kept away from the world championship scene for various reasons. However, instead of pushing him as a major star with the titles, they were simply used as accessories to showcase how good Reigns was, and in the end, both runs devalued the titles and didn't help his popularity with the audience.